All right, guys. This is, if I'm doing my math correctly, our 7th main event team in 7 days. It's been an absolute whirlwind of a main event draft season. We are going to have one more live draft on Tuesday before we head to Vegas. We're going to do an NFC draft with Leone and Gretsch. But this is it for our broadcasted main event drafts, saving the best for last. It's our friend Davis Mattek. You guys are familiar from our Mr. X Football Guys draft last year. That one got off the rails. Davis, I really don't want to get drunk on a school night tonight, though.
Look, I will try to make you not drunk on a school night. I'm doing my best to join the ship chasing crew. I have my kombucha here. This is as hard as I can get. So I'm joining via my master brew kombucha.
I misread the situation entirely. I've got bourbon going, so
I got a sour going. Davis, DM me your email that you use on FFPC so I can add you. Your Gmail didn't work.
Well, that's the one I use, so I don't know why that would be.
Okay. All right.
I just as a response, I just did it anyways, but it's davismattek@gmail.com. It's in my Twitter bio.
Okay. Yeah. If you're ready to open up the floodgates there. All right, let's sorry, I'm a little frazzled. I just did a randomizer draft with Silva.
It's been a long day for you, bud.
It's been a real long day. So we're going to get centered. We're going to relax. We're going to enjoy this. We got this draft kicking off here in a minute. We're going to draft a wonderful team. We're drafting from 110 because we're incapable of having early slots.
It's pretty crazy how frequently we've been down at the end of the board here. Well, we've had 3 111s, a 109, and this is our second 110, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we had one. Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago when you guys had 2 101s?
We've only ever had last year.
We had the one 101.
Okay. Yeah. We haven't been, the randomizer gods haven't been good to us with these picks.
That's our only 101 ever, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was the one where we took Aaron Jones because he fell to us on the tune. And that team was just so nasty because it had the Dak Prescott double stack, and then Dak got hurt and the team imploded. And Christian McCaffrey got hurt too. So.
And Christian McCaffrey got hurt. Yeah, the whole thing went to hell.
True story. I've made one financial deposit on myffpc.com. It was the main event in 2019, and we selected Christian McCaffrey at the 4th overall pick, and we have been playing on that original deposit ever since.
There you go.
Very nice.
That's how you do it. Roll it on up.
Number 4, Christian McCaffrey, 4th overall. So let's hash this out for number 10 real quick. What are we thinking?
I mean, this is the spot we've been finding ourselves in. We tend to like the 3 wide receivers, Kelsey and Waller, and one of them is generally there. But are you a true piss boy or not? That's the question, Davis.
Well, I think that Gretsch and everyone else would indicate that I'm not. Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, I know you guys are really overweight on Kittle.
Yeah.
But we took Kittle, so we also drafted out of the 9 slot. And we just said fuck it, and we took Kittle at with our second pick because the one elite tight end build is the most optimal build for these leagues. Getting Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller is you do that, and then you are only streaming one position all year, which is your running back 2.
So we were extremely overweight Kittle at one time, but we took him in like 3 of the first 4 that we did. But we haven't taken him in a while. So I actually don't think it would be crazy. Like for even from a portfolio perspective, it wouldn't be crazy for us to take Kittle. And then obviously we've taken him even earlier than what you're suggesting. So we're game. I would be game.
Yeah. Aaron Jones goes here. We'll see what SBP Boys does, but this is a pretty nice spot for us here.
This would give us 5. If we were to take Kittle, it would be 5.
Wait. I want a world where Davis has to push for Zeke Elliott.
Oh, if Zeke is there, it's not even. That's the easy pick.
Oh my god!
This is what I want. I want Davis.
Literally, it's the easiest pick.
Oh my god!
This is gonna be so funny.
This is so obnoxious because, obviously, I'm the running back guy, everybody. But it's the obvious play if SPP Boys doesn't take him.
Okay, we get Adams
Okay.
at 110. Absolutely.
Or
I was gonna say, do we want to set up the JT Kittle thing?
I think it's very bad to pass on Adams here.
I do too.
And you guys both straight up Adams over Diggs. No thought about that.
I mean, I think it's close, but I think prefer Adams slightly to Diggs.
If you thought there was any chance of us taking Josh Allen in the 6th round, like if you think there is a 10% probability, that swings it for me, but I've only done one main, so you guys would know better.
The one thing from our draft last night was that was the one pick we vaguely regretted because quarterback's so deep and there's so many discounts
so
late. Yeah.
I don't think there's a 10% chance we get Allen in the 6th round. I would put that at like a 1 to 2% chance.
All right, let's do Adams.
Let's do Adams.
Man, the SBP boys was one pick away from us having a very fun 60 seconds.
There would not have been an argument. You simply cannot not take Ezekiel
Davis.
Elliott
You can't
at the 110.
You can't dictate that there's not going to be an argument when there's two other people who might have argued.
I'm just saying, Pat, you literally wrote the legendary upside thing. Like Zeke has already done all the things. He scored 20 touchdowns. He's caught 70 passes.
Yeah, I guess he's done them individually.
I love this. Point. You guys have been podcasting all summer long, and you guys are so friendly and chummy. Why haven't we been having the Devontae Adams versus Ezekiel Elliott heated arguments? That's what the people want.
The funny thing is, I think we would have taken Zeke. I think we would have taken.
We would have taken Zeke because it's so obvious that's what you need to do.
No, I would have hated it, but I would have wanted to do it just to watch Pat squirm. This might break really well for us when Najee goes 111. Yeah.
So it's, by the way, I don't actually think Kittle is a good, playing the ADP game. I don't think it's particularly strong value to take him here, assuming that we're going to probably be looking at an elite wide receiver when we get back up or Jonathan Taylor when we get back up on the clock. And by the way, we need to play it tighter lipped than normal about player names, because I don't know which one of these teams it is, but one of these teams is for sure watching the show. Evan Silva's, but
yeah, they didn't name tip their hand. Yeah. So Davis told us that. And then I was just talking to Silva about it, and his crew that they're drafting their collective team the Saturday after the opening game. But his crew is in here. One of these teams.
So we don't know which team.
Stream Snipers. That would be a great name for a team who was a stream sniper.
Stream sniper. Yeah. So basically we need to be less forthcoming with the picks than we would normally be.
Yeah. I mean, we're at the point now where I think we're pretty just zen about it. But yes.
Yeah. Everyone does know who we want. I mean, of course.
I'm very curious to see what a Najee owner does coming back. Like when you reach for Najee when he's normally
JT.
there.
This guy's taking JT.
Saquon.
Oh, Chubb maybe.
Barkley.
I feel like there's something that a Najee Harris in the first round drafter would find distasteful about how many passes Barkley catches. I told you, I said Chubb.
Chubb, you called it,
dude.
I said it.
I love JT here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like JT here a lot. Yeah, JT.
Smash it.
Love it.
You guys were talking about that on the show. Pat, is this our first JT share?
It's our first JT share.
And to be able to get him, not have to reach for him in the first where he was, in July or whatever, and to be able to get him paired with Adams feels very nice.
That is a very good start. I really like Jonathan Taylor, and he is going to outproduce Derrick Henry, who I took in the first round of my first main event because one of my co-owners who was drinking 9% ABV Belgian IPAs or some shit misclicked Henry and was too bashful to tell the commissioner to stop the draft.
God. Oh, God.
I don't think I've ever told this story on Ship Chasing. My first main event, we had a misclick, and I was the guy who was like, stop the draft to the commissioner. And it was so embarrassing because I even remember what it was. We got auto-drafted Eric Ebron, and we wanted Kalen Ballage. It was the Kalen Ballage Miami year. And we were like, stop the draft. We need Kalen Ballage.
That's, luckily we haven't had too many bad auto draft moments. I do want to talk about this because this is so funny to me. This bye week thing, it's already priced in. Like Adam should be going at 1.314. Like him having a week 13 bye week is priced in at 110. JT should be going 1.718. Him going at 2.2 or 2.3 is already priced in. I think I do agree that having multiple guys with the same bye week, but a week 13, a week 14, it's much to do about nothing, and I will happily take the ADP discounts there.
So Frank Reich plays the hot hand. Like, what are we doing this?
That's the cornerback matchups of season-long draft concerns.
Like, what did I just read? I can't. I'm not. If the chat is bringing that tonight, I'm not participating in it. Like, you got to be better than that. So I do want to say one thing, which is Saquon Barkley's ADP in these main events has the potential to be one of the most laughable ADPs in both directions. He could play 17 games and the Giants could be so bad that he is like fancy Mike Davis, or he could be pretty easily the 1 or 2 scoring running back in FFPC scoring. Like his ADP, he is, I think if I could get the PPR points for one player before the season, I think I would ask for Barkley's. Like, how many PPR points does Barkley score? I think he would be the one who, like, if I could
be the one you like. Yeah.
If I could stare into a crystal ball and get one guy's points, I think it would be Barkley.
That's a good one, because I think it does have, with that crystal ball hypothetical, I think it has to be someone that's on the fringe of the first round, because then you're saying that you can potentially get him from any spot. Right. And whether he's going to absolutely smash.
I think I would pick Swift.
No.
If I know that Swift's getting 20 points a game, like, then I can get 100% exposure to Swift.
because then at that point, then you might that kind of ruins the thought experiment, because then it's like, well, I'd really like to know Darrell Henderson's. I'd really like to know James Robinson's. Like, I think that's like I think you just cheapened my thought experiment, Pat.
Well, but I don't think I did, because if you pick a guy with a 4th or 5th round ADP and you find out that they don't score a ton of points, it doesn't really help you that much. Whereas, like, if you find out Saquon doesn't score a ton of points, it would help you a lot. So I think it's someone that you are pretty sure is going to score a lot of points, but aren't 100% sure.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because people with the JT stuff too are still so anchored. Someone was referencing his underdog ADP. That's the deal too. He was going 1.6, 1.7 all year until the Wentz, Quentin Taylor stuff. Then that stuff was overblown. They're all going to be back week 1 fine, and the ADP never corrected. It is literally a discount on what his ADP was before, and the market decided that they never wanted to readjust.
It's bizarre. It's
really weird.
There's no way to say it other than that. It's extremely bizarre that Jonathan Taylor was a first-round pick for 4 months. Carson Wentz missed 2 weeks of practice, and now you can get him in the mid-second round.
It's weird. And also, I mean, Saquon Barkley is similar. I mean, it's obviously there's a wide range of outcomes for sure, but it's the same effect, I think. Like, he was going kind of in the 9-10 range, then he falls more to the 11, and then he kind of keeps falling, but the news is getting more bullish, not more bearish. Like,
that's a crazy start there from Team 3, reaching for Hawkinson in the early 3rd to crank purple there.
Yeah,
Nixon,
I mean, so we are basically already setting up to do the chase the tail at tight end for the entire season.
Well, you never know. This spot is just so sick. I hate this spot in the 3rd round. Like, our first 2 picks worked out very nicely, but then the 3rd round one is where it's just always at the same fucking teardrop, where you're just having to reach for your guys, which is fine because you get your guys, but I hate this spot in the 3rd.
Me too.
No, it is particularly brutal after Allen Robinson and Joe Mixon go. It's just like,
and McLaurin
the next 15 guys are
and
all
CH.
the same.
Like, CH would have been nice there at the 306.
Well, I was hoping that there was a chance that he made it to us. I was crossing my fingers.
That would have been fun to have CH on the team we have with you, Davis. That would have been nice.
Yeah. You guys could have just really experienced the Darrell Williams third down tilt firsthand.
Yeah, that would have been great.
You guys do every single draft. You fall in love with a team 2 rounds in, and then you turn on them when they don't do what you want them to continue to do.
Fairways and Greens is a grinder. I've been in leagues with him. It might be Dan Masterson.
I'm not really?
Sure.
Is it? No.
Fairways and Greens is someone we know.
Oh, I hope it's not Dan Masterson. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Let's see. The Kittle owner here with Jones and
Henry's pointing out we can check the owner page. Henry.
Yeah, I could.
So we are 2 picks away. There's one guy I really want, but I am worried that SP Boys is gonna do it to us again.
Robert Woods goes. So Crack Rock is pouring one out here for Robert Woods not going. Davis, are you still in on Robert Woods this year?
So like for the memes, yes, but like I don't take him in fantasy drafts anymore.
Yeah. I'll occasionally take him in underdog. That one share we have with Crack Rock will be our only high stakes share. So you know what?
The thing is, I just want to be in on the Rams though.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm in on the Rams as well. Let's see here. I mean, this is also our tier of it's the same running backs or the wide receivers we were talking about with Crack Rock. You got your Cooper Kupp, your Lockett.
Our soul is just going to get owned here. By the way, the guy we all want is about to go, and it's just.
I know we're trying.
I know. We're literally just trying to talk through it.
Let's go.
Imagine taking Cooper Kupp over Kyle Pitts. Could not be me.
Woo. Love it,
guys. That was so big. That was one of my favorite moments ever.
Let's do
it. That was pretty nice.
I've been like kind of on the fence on Kyle Pitts this whole time, and then I saw someone tweet today that Russell Gage is what people want Kyle Pitts to be, and at that point, it became clear to me like Kyle Pitts is gonna win. Like Kyle Pitts is gonna be a league winner.
Love
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. We now have the perfect FFPC structure. This is
perfect FFPC build.
The nut structure right there.
Oh my god, yeah. I have like warm fuzzies. That was so good.
And now we can literally just draft our favorite wide receiver.
The whole rest of the way.
So
now someone did say in cash that I will end up playing Robert Woods on DraftKings cash games this year, and they're absolutely right. I'm going to be playing the shit out of him in DK cash games.
That's the new. Okay, so in season, people reference their best ball teams. Davis is in draft season referencing his future DFS lineups.
Just like referencing what I know, like Robert Woods is going to be 6,300 against the 49ers when they play, and I'm going to be like, yeah, it's a lock, dude. You got to get him in.
Kyle Pitts, love it. Absolutely love it. That's our second share of Pitts. Was it the Gormanji draft where we took?
No, Gormanji was out of the it might have been the Silas and Gormanji.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. I got all of them in the spreadsheet.
So Davis, who was your of the, by ADP you have the Lockett and Godwin, and then we got our DJ Moores, our reaches on T Higgins. Where are you at on this crew here?
Yeah, it's DJ Moore, then Lockett, then Godwin, but all of them are good, right? No, like you can't find a fault in any of those guys.
Do you not have T Higgins in that group?
Oh no, I do, but I tend to play it a little bit nittier with ADP.
Yeah. So the team goes Carson Godwin here, team 11. So we're gonna get one of Lockett or more, which feels nice.
Yeah, that does feel nice.
You love to see it. So that Pete, that point you made earlier about you take the elite quarterback and you're like fist pumping the stack, and then you see someone gets Trevor Lawrence in the 15th round. Yeah. And that has been the case every time I have ever done one of these drafts, like 100% of the time.
So Lockett goes. I'm guessing Moore's consensus here. Anyone else want to make a non-Moore case?
Nope.
Davis, more?
No. I does this mean I have not I've been listening to most of them. I have not listened to every. You guys have done like 19 podcasts this week. Do you have a T in the main yet?
Yes.
Okay. We do. We took T in this exact spot, I believe. We might even have 2 shares of T.
Yeah, Pat sends me weekly updates on our exposures.
I'm glad you're getting those. I have no response on those emails.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I hope he's reading this. No, I just, I'm like, I figured you'd want to know what our exposures are.
No, I do.
I send them.
I've been busy. I didn't think, if we were, proper colleagues at a corporation, I'd reply, confirming receipt of this message.
Yeah, right. You would. Acknowledged.
Uh-oh.
No, we just hadn't even talked about it, so I didn't know.
Bi-week Twitter is out early tonight.
Oh my God.
Normally you guys will. Bi-week Twitter. I'm so sick of bi-week Twitter. I can't do it anymore.
Literally, name me something worse than people who turn into a live stream draft and start talking about the bye weeks of the players you're selecting.
If we were only drafting, if the main event teams were 4 rounds, and that's all you could draft, I would be concerned about that. But because we do get 20 picks, I'm less concerned.
Now, are they also aware that during the bye weeks we are allowed to make use of something called the waiver wire, in which you can actually just pick any player that's not owned by other teams for a small amount of something called a free agency acquisition budget.
And go and look back at your rosters each year and see if your winning players always come from the first 4 rounds. There's always going to be a couple busts in there. Your best picks come later in the draft. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, we
do have 2 Higgins shares, by the way.
So I think, by the way, if we're talking, so I think our in-between round, we're just going to do thought experiments when we're this far away from picks. That what you actually just said, Pete, people say that on podcasts, but no one ever actually does it. No one ever actually goes back and looks at their week 16 lineup and the team that they drafted. Because if you actually did it, it's insane how much turnover you have. I had a main event team with Reeves, Silva, and Thorman last year, where in the final week of the season, our league championship, we started 4 of the players that we drafted, and we had cut over 60% of the original team that we drafted.
Oh yeah. I mean, you look at our Crack Rock team last year that smashed. It was waiver wire QB, waiver wire Claypool, 5th round Allen, 6th round Diggs. Like there was nothing about it loaded in the first round. I mean, Eckler.
Well, we got the big dog. Then Eckler. Then I forget who we even took the 3rd round. Whiffed on Odell.
We reached on, was it Hawkinson?
I don't think so, because we cranked purple. We took 3 tight ends later. I should pull this up.
But we did have Hawkinson on that team. I just don't know where we took him. I assume it was.
It wasn't that early, because he was like a 6th round pick.
Yeah,
6th or 7th. Yeah. But yeah, we got Josh Allen in the 11th round there.
All jokes aside about the bye week stuff is in the same way if you start your draft with 5 wide receivers, you now have to draft according to that reality. So that means you're going to be stocking up on a lot of late round running backs. If you draft a bunch of guys with early bye weeks, that's fine. It means that you're not going to draft guys with the same bye week over and over in rounds 10 and 11 and 12. We already have this information advantage, and then you draft accordingly after that. Just scratching off every player who has a bye week in weeks 13 or 14, please play in those leagues, because then you're just punting away EV at every expected turn.
Guys, I think Team 6 is trying to woo me. I think they're trying to win my services over as their co-manager.
You like the Mahomes pick, getting the sack, I guess?
I don't. I actually hate it in this format. I think it's bad. I've never owned Patrick Mahomes in an FFPC league other than a dynasty league, because the amount of points that he is going to score over the quarterback 12 does not measure up to the gap in ADP. Like, you can literally get the quarterback 12 in FFPC for free.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard. Like even so, these guys are getting their stacks. The Kyler, the Mahomes. We did it last night, or we didn't even get a stack, right? We had Kyler unstacked, and then we got him back.
We got Rondell later.
Yeah,
which is pretty sweet. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like the backdoor that Dak offers. I like the backdoor that Kyler offers. The backdoor with Josh Allen, Gabe Davis. Remind me of this. I want to touch on the roster construction conversation that you guys were having with Josh and Essential in the Alvin Kamara draft.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
make this pick first.
Let's see. Logan Thomas.
Do you
love
beautiful.
To see that
God.
at 508?
Yeah.
Well, to the Kittle and Andrews owner too. So they're just scooping up all the tight ends. It's perfect. They're starving the beast. Someone's starving the beast. And we're full.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
3 in team 8, this should push tight ends up a decent amount.
Pat and I just did a podcast today where we declared that Logan Thomas was the worst pick at ADP in all of fantasy football this year.
Pat gave a good case last night. Eric Bimeford took a very funny screenshot of Siegel's face after that reaction.
Is that what that's from? I didn't realize that Sean really likes him.
Yeah, Sean loves Logan Thomas.
I mean, it doesn't ever feel great to go against Sean, but like no one gets 100%, right?
Yeah, I it's always you're out on a limb when you're going with Sean.
Ayuk smash, right?
Hold up.
I was gonna say
hold up.
But play the ADP.
Ayuk has a hamstring.
Yeah.
It's like, it could be a tiebreaker to go to Claypool. I would be open to both.
I think Ayuk had been going like late 4th in some of
these.
Okay,
check the bye weeks. Check the bye weeks.
Buys week 6 and 7.
I don't actually care. I slightly prefer Claypool, but I do like that Ayuk sets us up to do double quarterbacks with taking Trey Lance as our second.
So
that's true.
Good Brandon Ayuk among 6 49ers out of first practice leading up, but yeah, I don't know. I still prefer Ayuk here.
Let's do it.
And if it's that close, I don't know. I'd rather give team 11 or 12 a chance to let Claypool come back to us.
I'm good with it. Did want to have the conversation though.
Yeah, no, I think that was fair.
This is why I prefer Claypool. What swings most fantasy weeks? Touchdowns. You would make Claypool like a -150 favorite on almost a given week to score more touchdowns than Ayuk. Not to say that he will every week, but Claypool is like a touchdown generator. That's like what he exists to do. And so I just like Claypool could legit lead the NFL in touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I like Claypool a lot. I want him to take a giant leap. I'm a little bit worried about the snaps there, but I'm also obviously worried about Ayuk's hamstring. So there's like a kind of red flags.
And aren't we like a little bit worried? Aren't we a little bit worried about like the weekly volatility stuff with Ayuk and Debo, where they're probably number ones, but really even number 2s because Kittle probably leads them in target share, and they are going to be a relatively run heavy offense, even under Lance.
Yeah,
that's fair.
My thought on Ayuk though is that there's multiple outs for him.
Yes.
Like he's just good enough to become the alpha there. Lance could just be good enough that the pie is so big. If Kittle or Debo gets hurt, then he could crush. Like I just feel like he has a ton of outs.
Yeah. The other thing about Ayuk that I like is, to the point, Davis, about the touchdowns, that might not necessarily be true if Ayuk kind of breaks into the guy we think he might be.
Let me just play my part as the running back guy and just say Darrell Henderson would be an extreme value here. I'm prepared to be outvoted, but we just hit the tier break at wide receiver.
He's not an extreme value. He's been going at pick 58. Is his ADP.
Well, he's still an extreme value to where I have him projected because I don't have Sony for playing any passing downs.
But again, think about this in the same context as Best Ball Mania 2, right? Like there's our teams that have him in the 11th.
Let's roll the clip, producer, then.
Yeah, let's roll the clip, man.
Let's roll the clip.
Should we just do it? I mean, he should be.
He's not coming back.
Range. No,
he's not coming back.
Roll the clip.
All right, let's fucking do it. I mean, what are we even doing? We're just a fucking band that's
Jam
around
band.
for 25 years. That just has to play the same hit.
I'm really looking forward to you guys doing live shows in 27 years where Chris G is holding up a lighter screaming, roll the clip, producer.
Eric, let's fucking go. We're all 65. Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, God. Okay.
We spend a year writing new songs, and we just come out and everyone goes, roll the clip.
He's retired. He retired. Yeah. The other thing that was perfectly on brand about that is that Davis hopped in the chat and started trolling the chat during the highlight clip.
I missed.
They thought we weren't going to roll the clip. They thought I was just setting up the slow roll.
Because you guys thought we weren't going to roll the clip, sheep.
Oh my God. I do think, like, again, all bits aside, I mean, Visca should be going where Judy's going. Like, I mean, in Chenault, in Claypool. Like, I mean, he's that same guy.
If we can give helium to the third wide receiver for Teddy Bridgewater, we could probably give helium to Trevor Lawrence's number one wide receiver.
Good. That's a good take.
That's a good take. An interesting point here by Gerardo in the chat, Pete. I believe this applies to Visca.
Davis, any thoughts about Visca's playoff matchups?
We can't possibly be doing this. Stop. No, we're not even in week one yet. I'm not even ready.
Oh my God.
Oh no, someone actually came in for real and said that Visca plays in a division with great slot corners, which, like, I dare you to name the corners in the AFC South. Guy in the chat, Brandon Napier, name the corners, please. You will not be able to without Googling.
Will someone make the meme that there's the Venn diagram between bye week Twitter and wide receiver cornerback Twitter is a perfect circle?
Okay, so I wanted to, Henry, you should take Darrington Evans even with the IR over Tony Jones. Tony Jones is going to be a bar trivia answer, not a guy you're ever starting in the FFPC main event. Okay.
All right, what were you going to say?
Before I forget, I wanted to talk about your wide receiver strategy that you guys were talking about last night, and it kills me to disagree with Pat because I love him, but I saw where Pat was coming from with the idea that, like, two of our wide receivers will get hurt, one of them will bust. But what Pete was saying was accurate, which is that even if Pat's logic is correct, you did not structure the team in such a way that you had the luxury to make that pick.
What pick are we talking about? You gotta give me the context and the listeners.
You guys were talking about taking a 9th wide receiver on the Alvin Kamara team with Josh and Essential.
Oh, so not last night. Last week.
Yeah. Sorry, I was literally just listening to it in the car, very fresh. And Pat's logic was like you could not. What Pat was saying was true, but he was ignoring the structure and the way that you'd allocated the draft resources.
Right. I'm legitimately having a hard time remembering who did we end up taking instead.
Some shitty.
We probably took another, a shitty running back.
Yeah.
But my take on that, Davis, is like I should pull up. I'm pulling up the draft now, so I can actually.
Yeah, pull it up, and I mean, I will just say, I mean, the one thing I definitely agree with Davis is just him saying I was right. So I mean,
we need to take a look at what's happening in our draft right now. Aaron Rodgers and Justin Herbert just went ahead of Dak in the 6th round.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers unstacked, Herbert unstacked, Dak still on the board, Russell Wilson still on the board.
Yeah, just very bizarre there.
It's true. I don't. I mean, we need Gormanji and Silas, or Essential and Josh. We need you guys to.
It's
remind
Essential
us.
and Josh. Yeah. I was arguing, I'm sure, for Dimey Brown, because that's the type of thing I would be doing.
That is exactly what it was. But again, Pete hoisted you by your own petard by saying that if you draft Yami Brown, he can't be your first cut, because by drafting him, you're committing to keeping him until he at least is able to get on the field. But you didn't have the luxury of doing that because you needed a churn running back too.
Right. So that team had Alvin Kamara. Then we went AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Dak. Then we went Debo, Michael Gallup, Will Fuller. Then Devin Singletary, Gio Bernard. Then we went Gronk and Henry. Then we got Damian Williams, and I think and then we got Gabriel Davis. So I was then arguing over Justice Hill or Samaje Perine. I would have been arguing for Diame Brown, which I think is fine because you're basically like the guy you might be churning out 2 or 3 weeks in the season could be Gabriel Davis, or it could be Giovanni Bernard if this ankle thing turns into something, or it could be Hunter Henry. Like it could be a bunch of these guys. So I don't know. I still like taking swings for the upside.
Yeah, but you're just the amount of times you realize that upside on that roster is just like insanely low.
But it's not even that. Like Diami could be a smash, but you might not know he's a smash until week 12.
That's true. But I think we're out on by that point. I just think his profile
there were teams that drafted Justin Jefferson in the main event last year and dropped him.
Mm-hmm.
And you just do not want to be that guy. Like it just hurts to do that. Like just living knowing like, oh, I dropped Justin Jefferson in the main event, AMA. It's just terrible.
Yeah, and I as I recall, I was saying like we didn't have to do Diami, but I was saying I don't think you're locked out of taking that 9th wide receiver because of the point of like a lot of these guys could get hurt or bust, and it's not like there's that much opportunity cost. We took Samaje Perine or Samaje,
but that takes multiple weeks to convey, and also you're going to get information with Perine week 1 on if he's even the handcuff. Like you might Chris Evans might come in and play 3rd downs in the first half, and you're like, all right, well, Perine's gone. We're adding.
You can get negative information on Perine, I agree, but you can't get positive information unless Joe Mixon gets hurt. So I actually think.
Yeah. I need to admonish the chat. Stop the Dak FUD. You guys sound like Josh Hermsmeyer talking about cryptocurrency. Like you just are just absolutely stop with the Dak FUD. No more.
Yeah. What are they saying? I've been hammering.
They're saying he's gimpy, and he won't be able to run as much this year. And they're saying that the Cowboys message boards are bearish on his shoulder injury.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can't be drafting him. The Cowboys message boards are down on him.
Board said it, man. When is
we're out.
An anonymous internet commenter ever led you astray?
I've never gotten this one wrong.
Could you imagine if we got the newsletter and it said the Cowboys message boards are really down on Dak, don't draft him? Or if you logged on to any of the things we do, we're like the message boards, man.
Mike Davis finally goes at 7:08. Apparently the hot topic on fantasy Twitter. I've been busy tonight, so I only saw like the reactions.
This team is so bad. What teammate is? He just is. I mean, there's gotta be someone in every draft.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see here what SBP Boys does. I will say the ADP guy in me really likes Chase Edmonds here.
I was gonna say another running back, but I don't hate taking.
What would it be? Are you gonna say Dylan? That would be the only.
I was just gonna say quads.
What about Noah Fant? What about Noah Fant? Because that gives us a second potential elite tight end option. Ton of upside.
I prefer Edmonds to Fant in this build.
Yes, I agree.
I feel like
second of each.
I feel like we can chase. I don't know.
We can take Dalton Schultz in the 16th round if we need to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, there's a second tight end who FFPC drafters for whatever reason still have. Let's Pete. I vote Edmonds.
Pat.
I mean, we knew we were going to do something gross with the friggin'.
How do you think
running
Edmonds
backs
is gross here in the late 7th?
Over Fant? I mean, I think there's opportunity cost in taking him. That's all.
I don't.
Pat's like a little bummed right now. Like, look at his face. Like, Pat, he's like a little bummed out on us.
If we didn't have Pitts, I mean, I would 100% agree with you that Fant would have been the pick.
It's just 2 upside plays. That's all.
Wow. I think Edmonds is a very good pick there.
It's fine.
When all else fails, you can just tout uniqueness. You can just say that Edmonds fell after ADP, therefore he was a more unique play.
Yeah. I can't trust the chat anymore. You guys are telling us to pick Javonte Williams, who went round.
I mean, someone here is definitely a fan of me because they just mentioned Albert Okuibunam in the chat, which means that they are a longtime listener of programs where Pete and I have been on together.
Yeah. No, to me, the thing about the Edmonds stuff is we've mainly been playing that backfield as Connor because he's the cheaper one. I still like Connor a lot. A lot of people have been referencing the JJ study too about these ambiguous backfields we want to target. These guys that are the higher drafted of the ambiguous backfields have been very big hits. Edmonds is in an offense we absolutely love. We think the Cardinals are going to score a shit ton of points, and you're getting him at a very palatable price, few picks after ADP, in a dead zone for wide receivers. So I don't know. I think he's a really nice pick there.
I like Fant a lot more because you get the upside at the more valuable position, tight end versus RB2. I like the anchor RB build with the two shots at elite tight end, and you can start both. I mean,
I should be clear, Pat. I thought that one was pretty close. I thought that one was like 55-45. Like I really like Fant. The thing that I like about Edmonds is he will get us the scrape by points at running back 2, even if he sucks. Like he actually is a small loss, big win running back.
That's probably true. He's
going
to be startable even if he busts to an extent.
Even if he busts, we will not have to be starting JJ Taylor at running back some week or whatever.
Real quick, we are on the clock here, so we are again in another kind of weird spot. My votes would be for Waddle or Gallup. I don't know if you guys.
Gallup was mine, but I like Waddle too. I was gonna say let Pat pick since we just broke his heart.
I like Gallup a lot.
Pat doesn't love Fant that much to pretend like his heart is broken.
Well, my heart is broken when we take a dusty little running back over.
He just didn't want to take a running back. He just didn't want to take a running back.
I mean, Fant, I think would have been a pretty sweet. This is a pretty sweet build if you have Pitts and Fant, because now you have 2 outs to an elite tight end, and the other one's probably starting for you.
And we have to draft like we're right. Like fucking Kyle Pitts is our elite tight end, and then you're all of a sudden having to decide each week whether you're starting LaVisca or Noah Fant.
We'd have to decide between Fant or Visca.
Yeah, I mean we can't already wave the white flag on Kyle.
You're not waving the white flag. You're not waving the white flag. We did this with Andrews and Hawkinson. We've done this before. It's a good build. Like the two.
It is a good build.
But we've also done the build a million times where you're spraying and praying on these guys. We're very comfortable doing that, but I think you have to be open. Like, I think you're downplaying the Edmonds upside case here.
I'm not like downplaying that he has upside, but I'm saying that like the way you're drafting that you're right is that you're taking the strategy, because it's not best ball. We're going to be churning out a bunch of these guys. The thing that we're betting on is that we're going to be in the flex, and we're betting on positions that are going to help us win the flex. Chase Edmonds isn't part of that strategy. He's to shore up running back too. What I like about Fant is he can break out and Pitts can break out, and he helps us dominate the flex. It's like a wide receiver pick, essentially. He lets us put Pitts in the flex, and then Fant becomes our tight end. So it makes Pitts a wide receiver.
I think it's just also not like we all like Fant, but we're again, he could legitimately be 4th in targets on a team with Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback. I mean, that's an actual reality.
Yeah, I mean, and Chase Edmonds could be an expensive version of James White.
I don't want to do Noah Fant FUD. I did not sign up for this to do Noah Fant FUD. I like Noah Fant. Let me phrase it to you this way, Pat. If we would have just started like hyping up AJ Dillon and his quads right there, I think you would have gone for it. But AJ Dillon has a chance to be a guy who we start 0 times.
No, I wouldn't have gone for AJ Dillon there either.
Okay.
I mean, we've been getting AJ Dillon mid-9th. The thing for me is that I think Edmonds, if he were to have fallen to the 8th, is pretty sweet. But Edmonds in the 7th with Fant there, I think it's not that great. Like Russell Wilson actually would have been interesting there too. Like, it's fine. I think it's fine. And Fant, I think, is just a more interesting build.
Literally,
because he helps us win the flex.
The entire world is hype on Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton is not going away, and the entire world is hype on KJ Hamler. There are very much realities where Noah Fant. And again, this guy is just
I'm not
trolling.
saying he's I'm not saying he's safe. I'm saying he provides us with upside.
So does Chase Edmonds. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for the far more important position. Running back 2 versus a flex spot. It's just upside at the more important position.
Yeah, I think you're just looking at just every single. I like Fant a lot more if he's your tight end 1 there. I don't think he's like the smash flex play because you are debating between.
I think Pat talked me into it. I think we made a mistake. I think
we definitely made a mistake.
No, you guys are completely off your rocker with this one.
No, because Pitts becomes the flex, Pete. So it turns Pitts into a flex play. That's the real advantage of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys are I think you're downplaying the Edmonds upside case. All this stuff about he's never had the goal line.
I like Edmonds.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. I haven't said any of that. I haven't made the. I think he does have upside. I'm just saying from a structural standpoint, it's running back 2 versus a flex.
Yeah. I think the chat's getting to me.
Oh, they always do.
Because like for me, I actually think that Chase Edmonds is kind of like DJ Moore, but at running back. Like he is going to be totally fine, but he just has this crazy upside if James Conner either doesn't play well or if they just use him in the goal line a little bit. Because he is good at catching passes. He is good at catching. You can say whatever you want about people are like, oh, he started that one game and he looked like shit, which is true. But there are ways in that offense that it just breaks so right for him because he is the good skill set fit for that offense.
Yeah, and this is where people are wrong. Edmonds is never a league winner is just an absolute
that's just bad. That is just not viewing it the right way.
Edmonds could be a full-blown smash in this offense. We're talking about the offense that could lead the league in points, and you're telling me the lead back in that offense doesn't have upside to being a league winner in the late 7th. Get the fuck out of here.
And this also does save us from me having to pound the table for James White way too early.
I mean,
someone in the chat called him expensive James White, which I think like
James White finished RB8 1 year.
Yeah, it's kind of a. I mean, I do agree that like if he fails and falls into being James White, like that's actually that's a far higher floor of a failure than you would normally get here. So that's nice.
That's the Gretsch thing. That small loss, big win. He's like the poster boy of that at running back.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with like him specifically. It's more taking the running back there over
Fant.
Like a really high upside tight end, which isn't going to be available later. We know that.
Yeah, I mean,
did Donald Parham retire?
I think it was very close, but to say that was a mistake is absurd.
No, I think it was a mistake to say. I think we would have been better off taking Fant.
I disagree. Let's grab Cole Komet. He's the exact same thing as Fant and has a better path to target upside.
I am so glad we found something. I'm so glad we found something to disagree about. I was thinking, I was driving home and I was like, are we just going to play the hits? Like, are we just going to draft the same roster that these guys have already drafted 15 times on stream already? I'm like very glad we found something to get up in arms about.
Cole Komet
was a really good prospect. He was a really good prospect.
Komet. He has a better quarterback.
He was a fine prospect.
He has a better path to targets than Fant, less competition. I don't think it's that different.
Price adjusted, I like Cole Komet a lot. So, I don't want to make the bear case for Cole Komet exactly, but he wasn't very good last year, and he's a second-year tight end. I would much rather bet on a third-year tight end than a second-year tight end. And Noah Fant was I think a significantly better prospect. I mean, just look at the dynasty ADP. Like I had to remind people last year that Cole Komet existed. Noah Fant was going in the first round of non-tight end premium leagues. Like it was a little bit of a different prospect profile for sure.
Yeah. Fant is
I'm glad we got there.
Yeah, it wasn't a mistake. It was close, and it's just preference for build there. I personally don't love the having to decide between Fant, Visca, and Gallup every week there.
Yeah, but that is chat. Chat is like 90% wrong about this, but someone did make a good take on that, which is that's just the bullshit. You got to fill out your starting lineup argument, and they were right.
I mean,
chat was right.
They are, because it's really like the best case scenario is that it's Pitts. It's Pitts that you're deciding between.
Does Noah Fant have upside? I know you're going to say yes, but in your heart of hearts, do you think he has upside to be a top 5 tight end this year?
Fant?
Yeah.
Pete,
Yes. Yes.
Fucking hell, yes, no question in my mind. Are you serious? It was like Tunyon was the tight end 5 last year.
I mean, I think we're getting a little out over our skis here with Noah Fant.
No, Noah Fant is like Jimmy Graham, dude. He's really, really good.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking awesome.
I think you guys are way, way higher on the Broncos than me.
Teddy supported 3 top 26 PPR wide receivers last year, and Mike Davis was a running back 1 for 8 weeks.
So now, but we have to be honest with ourselves. So Javonte Williams is a league-winning 0 running back candidate.
Don't do
Teddy
this.
Bridgewater is going to support 3.
No,
elite
some of them are going to be bust, and some of them are going to hit.
Some of them are going to be bust,
and some of them are going to hit.
The potential exists. The potential exists.
Yeah, don't do the thing they all have to hit together. Obviously, that's not how the Broncos are going to go. Some of them are going to be good, and we're going to cut half of them. That's how it's going to work.
Know, but you guys are using the same argument against Edmonds in this same way of saying, like, he's not going to hit.
No, I'm not saying he's not going to hit. I'm saying from a structural perspective, I'd rather have the second tight ends.
This is so good.
I'm glad we finally actually got some art. We played the hits, and then we had a good old-fashioned argument.
Pat and I have done about 900 hours of podcasting this summer and not had one argument this impassioned.
This is why I can't believe. See, I felt like the people got deprived of the Devontae Adams versus Zeke thing, and I got to play heel tonight, Davis.
We made up for it.
You could have been the mega heel with us taking Zeke.
I would have, dude.
That would have been amazing.
I would have been like real life pissed at you guys if you made me not take Zeke there. Like I would have been like steamed.
The funny thing is,
I would have voted for Zeke just to.
I would have 100% been on Pat's side for Adams, but I would have literally selected Zeke because I wanted to watch the argument.
I think we might have had to just cancel the draft. We like it would have just like been really contentious, I think.
I would have farmed out the argument to you, Pete, because there's something about a 110 Zeke share that I wouldn't have minded. And it's like Davis is coming on. I know he's going to talk us into a running back at some point. So you might as well get it over with and take Zeke at 110.
I did not think Chase Edmonds was going to be the guy that we ended up
Me neither.
about.
Let's see here. We're going to be
we're all on the same. We're all on the same guy here.
There's I put a guy in our queue. This is the other thing too, that this is a very nice pocket here now for wide receivers for this 9-10 wrap.
Yeah, I think we all want the same player here.
Yeah,
I think you could make. There's 2 guys I really want here, so it's just what's the best way to play it.
I like one of these guys significantly more than the other guy.
Yeah,
that you put in the queue.
You see the queue, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's not showing up for me. Let me reload. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh too.
Don't. S&P boys would literally never take this guy.
All right, so Michael Carter goes. So Fuller.
Oh my God, this guy. Oh God, poor guy. He doesn't read the blurbs.
Fuller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fuller for sure. That's pretty sick.
We're back on track, boys. We're back on track.
We're back on track.
Who do you start? Noah Fant or Will Fuller? Who do we start?
We're gonna have to decide between Will Fuller and Brandon Ayuk. What are we gonna do? We should take another running back.
The answer week 1 is going to be neither because Ayuk's not going to play with the hamstring and Will Fuller is suspended.
Okay,
so.
Can we just So Pat, you and I were talking earlier today about Logan Thomas being the worst ADP in the wrong direction. I think Will Fuller is probably the worst ADP in the right direction. He should go where Odell and Robbie Anderson go, like straight up.
Yeah,
like he should be. He's around 5-6 pick.
Can we actually
I would take him over Devonta.
Pat, can I book a couple bets just because we're due for our one big argument a year? I would love to book for a Benjamin, Edmonds versus Fant, and Logan Thomas versus Fant FFPC points this year, a Benjamin.
Can I get in on Fant versus Thomas as well? Can I take Fant?
So you don't want in on the Edmonds one?
No, I would like the Edmonds side.
Oh, okay. So you're on the Edmonds one on that one. Okay.
I voted with you. I'm just trying to move past it because I don't want the chat to revolt against me.
I thought this is a snap bet. All right. I like 2 wide receivers here.
Me too.
Yes.
There's actually
same 2.
Which one?
You're not gonna believe this, but there are good wide receivers available in an FFPC room in the double-digit rounds.
It is weird.
What are we thinking our plan at quarterback might be?
Well, I mean, we're probably taking 2 for sure, right? In this build.
I would say 2. Yeah, we have the luxury to do that. You know, dare I say, a little bit of optionality because we took Chase Edmonds. We do not have to take like 8 running backs. Like we can survive without James White. We can survive without Ty Johnson. We can take those guys, but we have opened up optionality.
Wow.
Literally
James White going in the 9th. Goodness.
Let me tell you, Chase Edmonds at 7'10" is a lot better than James White at 9'1".
Rondale Moore goes. He would have been very, very fun.
Oh, damn, that's a bummer.
What Fournette team does here. Mike Williams still on the board.
I literally only select Mike Williams when Justin Herbert is an option. I do not want him at any other time.
Jacoby goes. I think Elijah's a smash.
Elijah Moore's the smash pick. Yeah.
Can I make a small case for Marquis Brown?
Sure.
Who is, yes, he's banged up, but I feel like Marquis Brown is going to be startable more early in the year, and I feel like there is, I don't know, there just is he closed out the year so strong. We all believe in Lamar. I feel like Brown is the better commodity. I really do.
My take is that Elijah Moore has the better chance to be the target hog down the stretch that we feel comfortable starting.
Yeah, that we're just. I think you're right. Like in a best ball, I'd probably take Marquis. Just he's gonna have more points with more weeks with points. But Elijah Moore is the guy that we're lock buttoning into our starting lineup.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and it is. If we ever did do a draft where we just wanted to full on trigger people and start with 3 running backs, I think the Marquise Brown pick starts to look pretty nice in that context. But I mean, as what is he here? Our 7th wide receiver. I feel like that's why I just love the Fuller and Moore picks here, because I mean, how else are you getting past to alpha target upside in the 9th and 10th round?
So I want to return on Marquise Brown a little bit. Basically, when he's been healthy in the NFL, he's mostly been quite good. He's really good.
I like the discount on him a lot. I think that the 3 guys who make no sense are Fuller, DJ Shark, and Marquise Brown. They're the Fuller one is just inexplicable. I don't understand it. Marquise Brown is fairly outdated. I think he's going to be fine. The health isn't really a major issue. And then Shark is also outdated because it's over a finger.
Yeah,
and it's
Shark
also over Colin Johnson
bad.
who got cut.
Yeah.
And by the way, part of what depressed Marquise Brown's ADP to begin with, why even after closing the year strong, why he was an 8th, 9th round pick before the injury and everything, was because they took Bateman in the first round, and Bateman is not going to be playing for at least until October, right? Best case.
Best case, I think week 4 or week 5.
And I will say, not to beat a dead horse here, but talking about this flex thing, this room completely bails us out. When we take a Chase really Edmonds, we should not be able to get Gallup and more.
Yeah, for sure.
We are rushing to obliterate people in the flex here while getting massive upside at RB2, where we're normally really, really sitting on it. So I refuse to take the L on this being a bad decision.
Well, we got bailed out.
We got bailed out. It looks a lot better now.
This is where the ADP has been falling. Moore's been going earlier sometimes, but Fuller has been here routinely.
Fuller has been here routinely, but Jet sniped us on him the last draft. So it's not, we got a nice stretch after this for sure. What was the bet you wanted to do? I don't want to do Edmonds versus a tight end straight up, because that's the whole, that makes,
I'll do no.
Running back 2 points are way more replaceable. That's
I'll do the Logan Thomas versus Fant straight up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So what happened? So this is where it's at, Pat. If we were to say, okay, Gallup versus Fant as a flex play straight up, you'd actually maybe even take Fant there with the tight end premium scoring, right? But our option is now we have the optionality of Gallup, Fuller, Elijah Moore in that rotational flex spot now. And you would take those three guys are a huge favorite to stream better points than Noah Fant.
Yeah, and then you'd maybe throw in, I mean, James White going here.
That's
Fournette
silly.
Going early, Jamal Williams round 9.
Yeah.
This is the thing. They're saying getting bailed out in plays you make a mistake. The FFPC draft rooms bail you out almost every single time unless we
literally
get this
every
super
draft.
Weird room. Like the Sean draft last night, there were no bailouts. Like that was a tough room. That was a really tough room.
That was a really tough room.
This is more typical, I would say, of a more standard FFPC room. Like James White in the 9th is pretty wild.
Yeah. And it's actually tough for me to come up with a 2v2 that I would, because the running backs now are getting so ridiculous that
the Nick Chubb team is just like playing to the back of his baseball card, like so good. He took Gus Edwards, Kenny Golladay, and Leonard Fournette. Like the most Nick Chubb at the 2-2 team ever.
I know we had some arguments, guys, but this team is fucking really good.
Yeah, this team. Like, I know we just wanted to kill each other, but this is the best team.
It's really good.
I didn't want to kill anybody. This is a tradition. We have to have at least one argument.
Fight.
What was the argument last year?
What was our argument last year? I don't remember.
I do remember it. Like I do distinctly remember one where you guys were pissed at each other.
I don't remember what it was. I literally can't remember. I know our Genesis argument our very first
Justin Forsett versus Buck Allen.
Forsett versus Buck Allen. I just met Pat for the first time. We're in a hotel room in Vegas. We're up till like 3 a.m. just arguing about Forsett. And Pat, our last big argument was when we were in Mexico. We argued about Ronald Jones's upside till like the wee hours of the morning.
How on brand is that?
That one was good. Yeah.
How shitty is this Giovanni Bernard injury?
It's shitty. Mid to high ankle. I haven't read any of the Twitter doctors on it, but just reading that diagnosis seemed very bad.
Like a bunch of my 4 running back teams are just dusted now. Like honest to God, like 4 running back teams are just already dusted off.
And it just means we have to deal with more Lombardi Lenny too.
It's that is like, and by the way, the Buccaneers play the first game. Fournette scoring a touchdown that first game on Thursday night where everyone's watching. Like that's just happening.
Yeah, but Davis, that's awesome because there's main events you can do after the Thursday night game. So if Leonard Fournette gets in the end zone,
I should go text I'm gonna go put in my group chat where we do the main that we should sign up for one Friday night.
Oh yeah, it's a huge edge.
It's very fun.
People chase
we did
that
one.
stuff.
We did one last year, and because the Chiefs played in the first game, remember? And we took some dusty Chief who scored a touchdown early in that game.
Check the private.
Yeah. I'm with this plan. 1 million.
Pat?
Yeah, I like that. I'm into that.
There's another quarterback I like too. If we don't get him, if we don't get the guy we want,
or reverse it.
No, Fields just goes. Fields just went.
Fields goes. Should we lock up?
I want to take Trevor Lawrence.
So Trevor Lawrence will be here, I promise you, in the 12th.
Okay.
I promise you that. Pat, should we do? I think Comet is a really nice pick. Is there anything else here?
I'm just double checking.
Comet. There are a few of the running backs, but I don't feel like we need them here.
I was going to say maybe Babe Davis also.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Or we could take our handcuff style running back. So we have our get us over the line running back 2 guy, and Madison's there too.
Madison's not practicing.
Okay,
yeah,
let's take Comet. Let's take Comet.
All right, I'm excited about that pick.
His ADP isn't reflective of where he's going to start going because all the other tight ends around him are dead.
Yeah.
So we took him a little bit above ADP, but.
And Chris points out Team 12 doesn't have it. That's why it was a bummer. We were going to try to set up a Fields Comet there. Why
and he just went the pick before.
The Lamar Jackson team is taking Fields there. I don't know.
Well, he's got to take the quarterback who's going to lead the NFL in rushing, and so Fields is that guy.
When we wait on quarterback, the quarterbacks
they
go early, and when we take a quarterback early, the quarterbacks last forever.
Okay, so the chat is wrong. Okay, never mind. Chat was wrong. They were trying to make me think that Lawrence was going to get sniped, but he's not going to.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence literally went in what was it, Pat? The 15th?
The 15th round, yeah.
Of our other one? I mean.
So if we don't get him, our only other stat guy is Tua.
Yeah, but Burrow's totally fine. We don't need to stack.
Speak
like I would rather have Burrow than you wouldn't rather have unstacked Burrow than Tua?
I'm on the
I would rather no. I don't believe in not stacking.
And this is kind of crazy because Pat's
we could wait.
The biggest Burrow believer.
I'm not, but in the 12th round and Lawrence is already gone. And I was arguing, we were talking about with the team we did with Gretsch, whether or not to take him over Hurts and I think Fields, maybe not. Lawrence for sure. And then there were a couple other guys as cover, like Stafford, I think. That's where I was out on Burrow.
Doug Elkins made our point for us, which is that the thirst in this room for quarterback seems quite high.
It is. And especially when you look at some of these other teams, like the thirst is high, and you could see the Stafford team double tap. You can see the
Lance team is taking a quarterback in the next round.
Austin Hooper. We starved the beast, guys. We did
it is a bummer that one thing there are like the Bills running backs look really nice here too. I mean, Moss is a pretty sick pick, whoever takes him, but I think we probably don't want to get squeezed out on upside quarterback.
I just really do not want to be starting Sam Darnold week 1 of the main event. Also there's kind of that element of like, we love this team, and wouldn't it be so shitty to love this team and have to be fucking around with quarterback all year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, now you're fucking stressing me out, man. Like we might get sniped here.
No,
I
mean, our worst case scenario is you're taking like Tua. I mean, we still have Burrow, Lawrence, and Tua on the board.
But I bet team 1 takes another quarterback too.
Oh, I'm not at all arguing against not taking a quarterback here.
Yeah.
Okay.
With our pick. I'm just worried that a quarterback might go at this pick.
Yeah, the Rodgers, this team, if there's any team that would take a quarterback here, it's Team 11.
Yeah. The chat is trying to come up with more 2v2s to prove that Edmonds was the wrong pick, and they're just falling on their faces.
Well, come up with a good one so that I can use it. Because the 2v2's got a lot harder for Team Fan, I'll tell you that.
The 2v2 that chat said
it was Moss. It's Fant Moss versus Comet Edmonds, which is a good one.
Fant Moss
versus Chase Edmonds. Comet. It's a good one.
We're on the clock. Okay, let's take Lawrence.
I assume we're Lawrence, right, guys?
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Dude, that preseason game had me like feeling warm fuzzies about Trevor Lawrence. Like that was the first time where I was like, oh yeah, no shit, this guy's been the projected number 1 overall pick for the last 3 years. Like he looked incredible.
The preseason is not for evaluating high-level picks that we have extremely strong priors on.
Okay.
That's not what the preseason is for.
Mute him.
No, not to you. I'm talking to the people who are letting Lawrence fall like he's bad now.
Oh, right. Yeah, because he looked shitty in the second game, right? He looked awful.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's fine to like. I'm excited about Justin Fields. I think he looked good. Trey Lance looked good, but like that hasn't really changed anything. I guess it changed things a tiny bit. Where I'm like, these guys are definitely not sitting all season, but like the point of these preseason games is to figure out like who's starting. Like the fact that Trevor Lawrence is falling because the Jags offense looks a little out of sorts in the fucking preseason.
By the way, Edmonds Comet fucking dunks all over Noah Fant. Zach Moss is all over it.
Yeah, I'm doing the thing that always happens where now I'm coming back around because I think Moss is such a stupid value there.
Yes. We talked ourselves into the opposite.
We always do this. Now I'm on Team Moss fan.
This is how but this just shows the thing that this is the thing. Yeah, it's so close. And Pete, you are actually, if I can be serious for a moment, you are the best person in all of fantasy football of anyone that I listen to or read that reminds us that we don't know shit. You are the absolute best at being like, we don't know shit. These guys are all the same.
People like listening to you, which is that's a tough needle to thread there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is the Moss slide there is is there a reason why that's happening? Are people concerned about his health?
I think enough fantasy football analysts have done the thing where they've shown that Bills running backs don't score any points that people are just over it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think people feel like the path to
thank you, John.
To him becoming like the true lead back has thinned out, which I think is fair, but considering the other running backs here, I like him.
Yeah.
I do think by the way, like I don't have a ton of either of those guys in underdog. Like I have single now, but in a weird way, these guys are actually better for the main event though. Because we're always scraping for running back 2, and like they're good scrape at running back 2 guys.
Also, they're on underdog. The difference between them isn't like this. It's more. I have more Singletary and underdog because
he goes so late.
I mean,
yeah,
Singletary
like 13.
was going like pick 155 for a stretch of a few weeks during the wide receiver mania time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was nuts. Gainwell would have been a pick, man. I love Gainwell. Yeah,
I like Gainwell a lot. You got me back on Gainwell.
We gotta start thinking about shit in green.
There's some options. I'll put some in the queue here.
Yeah, we need some more running backs.
I'm gonna add some of the running backs that I like.
This was like last night. Sean just absolute blitz to the queue. There'd be like 12 guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Here.
Drafting with Sean is amazing.
It's pretty great.
I do love how this has become the most polarizing topic in America. You too. The only way you can rock your vote is sending us $5 with your vote. That's the only way we'll count your vote.
God,
and then we will respect the results of the vote.
Just based on monetary, who ponied up.
Based on whoever sends the most money wins the argument. So send him in.
So far, Moss Fant is winning.
Moss Fant, which pretty nice for me.
I can't believe Josh would vote against me after I joined the Per Fam. Like I cannot believe this.
All right, so I believe we're even now.
We're dead.
John, you have to send a message with the super chat.
John, what is this dollar voting for?
Oh, John wants us to talk about Trey Lance, which I actually think is a good conversation to have because are you guys starting to get worried about the bags? Are you guys starting to be worried that Trey Lance might not start until like week 9?
The injury has me fucking spooked as hell.
Because this is the
excuse.
Well, and also, I mean, this is well-worn territory, but this is the 49ers schedule to start the year. At the Lions, win. At the Eagles, they'll be 7-point favorites. I don't know if they will win. Home to the Packers, coin flip. Home to the Seahawks, relative coin flip. At the Cardinals, that'll be a win. Home to the Colts, they'll be a big favorite. They get to play the Bears. Like they just have a super cushy schedule to start the year.
We're back to a dead heat. Kevin votes Fant Moss. Greg votes Edmonds Comet. 2-2 still heading here. $20 submitted.
Kevin, not even close.
I respect the penny to put it over the top, but we can't.
The penny to put it over the top.
We can't have this to be decided by a penny, unfortunately.
I think we were very justified grabbing the quarterback there. Burrow, Mayfield, Wilson go off the board. Okay. This is a nice pocket for Chuba goes. He was on my list.
That was who I wanted.
To me, there's
Damien. It's Damien.
I like Damien. I mean, let's do it.
Damien is like they are opening the runway for that dude to be Tariq Cohen, but good.
Yeah. So 199. Okay, so Fant plus Moss. So they got the penny. Thank you, Evan. So now we're back to even numbers.
This thing, Davis, is going like a Dutch oxen. The tips coming in are getting lower here. Davis, I enjoyed you talking with Carlini today. That was a very good podcast.
Dude, unbelievable. I just was like, my goal going into that podcast was just to shut up as much as possible. Which is, you guys know, it's very hard for me to do.
It is very hard for you, Dave. I was like, when is Davis going to interrupt Carlini? And you didn't. It was a good show. Carlini's super smart. And there we go, Brendan. I think that's the mic drop. Stop sending in money. Stop sending it in. Let's end it with this as a perfect tie. No one knows.
That's really like that should be the tagline to your the show. Ship chasing, no one knows.
Oh, Daigle comes in at the last minute, but this is actually unrelated. From Daigle and Silva, imagine supporting Moss fan. Also from Silva,
no, I'm with him. I am 100% with this take. Time to get Tyson.
I'm honestly, guys, it's very nice that you're sending this money in. Some of you guys that are sending this money in that aren't VIPs, just put that money to being a VIP. You get to come in the Discord. We got Gretsch dropping like alpha bombs in there. Some of the smartest people talking fantasy. Seriously, save your money. Become a Discord member. I promise you it's worth it. Any single VIP member will vouch that the Discord is 100% worth it.
Yeah, it is definitely worth the money that I spent to become a VIP.
Pete did win. So good job, Pete, with the Edmonds selection. That's the right pick. We should have made the Edmonds pick.
I turned and I like.
He turned. He won't see.
You were right. No, I would have let us astray. I want to know a fan, and we got the running back 2. The running backs dried up right after that. It was the right pick. Wide receivers were still going to dominate the flex. You had the right idea there, Pete.
We are still going to dominate the flex. We're going to win the flex in this league by like 50 points. Look at Elijah Moore's our wide receiver 7.
I'll say it again. This team is fucking sick.
This team is really sick.
Like, obviously, every time you draft a team, you think it's the best team ever. But, like, this is the best managed team I've drafted this offseason.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful team. It's Edmonds Comet.
Willis, let's go.
Willis just coming in like, Willis, I'm dead. I'm already dead.
So let's see. Sterling Shepard goes. Lindsey goes here. I have a guy that I really want.
Did you see that I added Cordarrelle Patterson to the chat? To the queue?
I did. Way to tip our
When did they
there.
give him running back eligibility?
Must have literally been today. Right?
I swear he's been a wide receiver, right?
You got. All right. Maybe this would be an awesome idea. We're on the clock. I think McKissick's really nice here. What do you guys think?
I prefer Tyson. Pat and I just had this out today.
Really?
I'm open to both. And I kind of prefer Tyson.
Catcher. We got our pass catcher in Damien. Now we need a guy who can be a rocket ship with an injury. And Tyson is going to be a potential rocket ship with an injury.
Yeah, my only thing would have been I think there was a decent chance Tyson comes back in the 15th.
Well, not now.
Exactly. That's why. Pat, break. I'm still pretty firmly on McKissick there, but
so the Jared Patterson thing too is that like he's the clear running back 3. Sean loves him. Barry Sanders is talking about how much he likes Jared Patterson. Like there might be like McKinnon, I don't think has a real strong moat for the job. And we want guys that can help us down the stretch.
McKissick was a product of Alex Smith.
Yeah, right. I'd go Tyson.
All right, we took Tyson mainly because Silva said so. So if Silva says so, all I've done tonight is get bullied by Evan Silva. My entire night has been getting bullied by Evan Silva. So
how was the randomizer stream? Was he just really mean to you?
He didn't want to do a lot of the prompts.
Which, I mean, we love you, Silva, but that was pretty predictable. It wasn't the biggest shock.
The funny moment was he wasn't doing the prompts, and then one was I had to go out and get a piece of grass, but I read it as dirt. So I go out and I come back with a clump of dirt, Davis. And Silva goes, dude, it said you had to get grass. So all of a sudden, then Silva wants to get really technical.
He wants to take it really seriously.
So I have to run back outside and get a clump of grass. Then I have to vacuum in between streams, and here we are.
Dude, the tight end is out of control in this draft. The beast is just begging for scraps.
Man,
George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Logan Thomas. I mean, the beast was starved. Then you also have a Kelsey Hawkinson. And you could have had a Pitts fan. I mean, the beast would have been very hungry then.
Does the guy who drafted Troutman know that Juwan Johnson is the tight end?
The Troutman stuff.
Probably not.
I'm really bummed out for all fantasy football platforms where Juwan Johnson only has wide receiver eligibility, because I spent the morning doing dynasty waiver claims. In some of the leagues I play in, he's tight end eligible, and some of them he's wide receiver eligible. And it just was like, it took me a long time this morning to figure that out.
Yeah, he's a tight end on Underdog, I think, right?
Nope, wide receiver.
I mean,
people still take him.
Wide receiver.
People still take him though. He's tight end on MFL though. If you haven't been doing your waiver claims. I spent the morning trying to do trades in our auction league, Pat.
Get anything done?
No, trying to trade for all the injured players, because I have that team that's just insanely tanking. So I try to trade for ETN and Dobbins and everybody. You know, people just want to hold on. No, they just want to hold on to their injured guys. It's
yeah, like, I'm so out of the dynasty loop. Like, what does ETN trade for right now? Like, do you still need to give up like a projected early first to get him?
I traded for him. I'll let you know. I forget exactly.
I want to know this price too, because I was trying to trade for ETN. I have a tanking team, and I'm trying to trade for ETN from Rich Rebar.
Oh, well, Rich Rebar won't do this, but I was able to move two third-round picks and a second-round pick. I won the league last year, so it should be late. And Chase Edmonds, very topical, for Travis Etienne and a fourth.
Okay. Well, our deal is I give up Chris Godwin. He gives me a 2023 first and Travis Etienne.
I think I'd do that. In your shoes, I would do that.
Yeah. So this team I have has like unlimited picks and has Justin Fields and Dak Prescott and a bunch of speculative wide receivers. But I'm literally week 1 will be starting Naheem Hines and Damian Williams at running back.
I just noticed that I'm getting trolled by Silva. Karain is right. Peter is having a rough night.
I love it.
I will say it is Silva's a ship chaser now. He says great pick on the Tyson there.
I love it.
It's been a long night, you know.
Chris Humphreys just bought a goon.
Really?
So that's my news update. So, yeah, former Brooklyn Net Kardashian, right? That was his deal. Chris Humphreys. He was married to Kim Kardashian for like 6 days.
There you go.
He bought a goon.
I'm waiting right now. Basically, I want to see who makes a better offer between the goons and the Perlinis to make my Twitter profile picture the project. You know, my bags. I definitely have more purs than goons, but money talks, Davis.
Purs is a way better project,
it's
but like
better.
I don't mean like I just had Carlini on the show. I thought it was great. The goons look better to me.
Yeah, it depends on. I'm more. I guess
Audrey Allison goes here.
Okay, someone didn't read the news.
Fantasy Pro Ball did not read the news today.
He did not read the news.
He needs to subscribe to the newsletter.
He sure does.
I haven't even, that all happened since I published the newsletter. I haven't even got to write that up. Josh, I mean, I really appreciate this tip, but if you think my Twitter avatar is only worth $10, I mean, come on, buddy.
Come on, this guy's got like 22,000 followers.
Hey, come on, Davis. We're closing in on 24 here.
I'm gonna hit 40K, I think, by the time the season starts.
I don't shit post enough. You shit posters. It's just
No, dude, it's the micro strategy. It's the micro strategy of the videos.
Davis, can you and I give Pat a little round of applause for upping his Twitter game this year now that he's a full-time fantasy analyst?
Yeah. I mean, Crane should have
Thank
more
you for
followers
this condescending round of applause. That's very
nice.
No,
because you used to not tweet. You didn't like tweeting, and now you're a good tweeter.
Well, most of them are underdog screenshots, but I do appreciate that.
So I would really be interested in taking Tua here.
If we leave this draft without a Kansas City Chief, I'm going to go kicking and screaming into the night.
Well, he's going to be there coming back. Both of those guys are. I also like the wide receiver, and I'm also fine with it. So talk to me through, I can easily get pushed off the second quarterback, but I do think it's nice having two cracks here. And I feel like can cut one.
Lawrence plays the Texans week 1, so we know we're starting him for sure that week. I guess maybe against the Broncos we would maybe want to go look at a different quarterback option, but probably not. Who does
Tua play week 2?
Let me look real quick. Dolphins schedule. Tua plays the Bills at home in week 2. That'll probably be like a 57 total.
Wow, Chris Evans. Okay. I don't feel super strongly here. It sounds like all three of us want something different here.
I also would like to make an impassioned case for taking Harrison Butker here.
Davis.
What about Cordell Patterson? He just got running back eligibility.
Look, you are preaching to the choir, buddy.
I mean, that's kind of fun.
I mean, do we need to take him here? Let's just say this. I think one of these picks should be Tua or Diami, and then we can take any of the Chiefs or Patterson coming back.
Okay, well, I probably having Tua better to retain that optionality then.
Pat,
let's just take Tua then, because one of these guys only has one quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. I still think there's a chance that we could get Diami and still get some of Davis's targets in the 17th.
Just like you guys never take the elite kicker in these. You never do it.
We haven't.
We'll take one in the 18th sometimes. Once.
So,
but sometimes I mean literally once.
So this is why I like doing it. You make one kicker waiver move all year. That saves you how many on
Wait,
average?
Are you keeping the kicker when you
take Harrison Butker, you do not drop him. You just keep him all year.
Then I don't like it at all. I don't want to cut a skill player for a kicker.
I mean, we're gonna cut Tua at some point. Are we gonna keep two quarterbacks all year?
The reason Pat has this take is because he knows you're going to be doing the waivers, so he can just offload the streaming kickers to you.
I mean, I'll do it. I don't have a problem doing it, but Butker is going to he's going to finish top 3 in points scored at the kicker position, and it requires zero thought and zero fab dollars.
Yeah, I don't have a.
It's like a real I do this every year. I do this every year on our main events that I co-manage with the DR guys. We take Butker every year.
Yeah, I mean I see it in the I think it's an easier sell for me in the 17th than
it feels a little early.
Diami.
Yeah, Diami has legitimate
off the board yet.
Major upside.
We got nice cover for Butker with Tucker still available.
I was doing a show the other day with Rich, and he was making the point that Tucker is not even actually a good kicker pick. That actually he gets pretty overrated.
Name brand.
Because they score so many touchdowns. What you actually want is you want a team who scores touchdown and kicks field goals. But the Ravens, when they get inside the red zone, just score touchdowns.
I guess one other
they
question.
run them in with Tyson Williams.
Pat, how many other wide receivers on the board? Because I do think we want to take one more wide receiver in this build at least. Do you have others? If we don't take Diami and then he goes,
there's another obvious wide receiver pick.
There's another obvious one.
Davis.
But actually,
your guy just
son of a bitch, dude. What is this guy?
I'm sorry. I said he wasn't.
That dude, Pete, that is so brutal, dude.
Evan Silva just super chatted us.
Evan, this feels like an apology for the randomizer draft. Evan,
that's pretty amazing.
Evan, who should we take? Evan gets the celebrity pick: Diami Brown or Diami Brown
or Rashad Bateman.
I had in the queue.
I think Rashad Bateman is the play. Actually, it's so late. It's the friggin' 16th round, and it's the same exact play as Elijah Moore.
We are literally mortal locks to cut Bateman.
That's my only take.
We are
wide receivers for most of the year, aren't we?
I guarantee you we're cutting him. I'll make you a bet right now. We're cutting him.
Well, if you're doing waivers, then I don't want to take that bet.
I do agree. Like if we draft Bateman, we are at bare minimum keeping him 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's say 4-week recovery, 1 week to see him back on the field.
It's our 8th wide receiver. We're probably holding 8 wide receivers. It's not our 9th.
I'd rather Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Davis, I kind of like the Bateman call. Or do you want to go Diami?
That's fine. I'm doing.
Bateman. Let's do Bateman. We can cut him. I don't mind it here. The thing is where I guess, Davis, I agree with you. I think the most likely outcome is we cut him. I also think the most likely outcome is we cut whoever we take.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
16th round, and maybe we bank an earlier, recovery time or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm surprised you were even. I guess it was Pat's two loves, Rashad Bateman and Diami Brown. It was like having to pick which child you liked more there.
Well, I picked Bateman.
I know. I'm aware.
I think it's the 8th wide receiver, because when I'm thinking about these builds, like 8 wide receivers feels about right, and it's not. Or did I miscount? So that was our 8th wide receiver, right?
Yeah. I'm just definitely I'm definitely playing this out for you now. Like I'm gonna have to cut Bateman for a kicker. It's just how this is gonna play out.
We only carry one kicker.
For a kicker, we're cutting our kicker for a kicker.
We're cutting the kicker for the kicker.
I'm so tilted.
Davis is
Stop cutting players for kickers, Davis. I just check in week 4. We've got 4 kickers. Davis, what are you doing?
I told you it was going to save us fab to take Butker.
I told you I would cut him. Well,
dude, I'm just looking ahead. I have the advanced kicking matchup plays. I'm setting up kicker plays for like week 8.
Dude, do not do look ahead kicker and cut Bateman, please.
Davis, aren't you worried about Butker having to kick at Arrowhead outdoors in December? I mean, that could be dicey.
It's so funny. Butker is not even a good kicker. He misses extra points. Like he's like
Thanks
89.
Sell on Butker.
No, that's what I'm saying.
About to take him over first round wide receiver.
He's not even a good kicker, and he still leads the NFL in kicking fantasy points every year because of the team he plays for.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there is that point where sometimes like all your targets get wiped out, but I don't know. I think Bateman, Diami, I think those are still guys worth taking stabs over. Like I'd even want to take a Quez Watkins stab over a kicker, a Nico Collins stab over a kicker.
See, that's the thing is I disagree with you. I disagree with that like a lot because we will be using this guy's points for 17 weeks.
Oh, and so now you're just a guy who just wants Edmonds and wants to fill out your starting lineup and just a perfect color between the lines.
It's good for screenshot equity. It's good for screenshot equity too.
Of the debate between Gretchen and Leone, where I was strongly Leone in that you take two kickers into the playoffs in this format because waivers lock. But then Gretch did bink Jeff Wilson, so there's it's tough because like in most outcomes you'd rather have the kicker in both of these scenarios, but when you hit on the late round pick, it can be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's that 97% of the time the kicker was the better pick, and the 3% of the time you lose by like a quadrillion points because you passed up on James Robinson or Chase Claypool.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we do enough of these. I want the out to a quadrillion points.
Brandon Napier did.
Both right.
Brandon Napier did tout the other good kicker to take.
I can't keep track. Everyone's been the chat is just literally everyone shouting kickers.
I'll put Denny's boy in the queue, just so we have him ready for the 18th.
Mr.
This was a similar play.
One year in the main event, we mismanaged our fab. It was the year Brian Hill was a spot starter the week before the playoffs started. I don't remember when, and we bid every last of our dollars on him, so we had $0 left, not realizing that we needed a second kicker, and Harrison Butker had a bye week in the FFPC playoffs, so we had to start him with a 0. And we needed 5 touchdowns from Lamar Jackson on Monday night against the Rams to advance in our playoffs with the 0 from kicker, and he got it done for us.
There you go.
He's my good luck charm.
So what's even the point? Oh, your good luck charm is the 0.
My good luck charm is just Harrison Butker.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, and I can't believe Pat didn't say it first. How is Zach Ertz still available?
No shit. Is he really? We got to take him.
That's it. I mean,
Davis. You're the best.
Zach Ertz is like a minus 200 favorite to score more points than Cole Komet. I was thinking to myself on the car ride home from dinner that we might have to take Ertz in round 10 if we really wanted him.
There goes I thought literally everyone had forgotten he existed, and we just reminded them.
Dude, Ghostface Killer went about 19 rounds ago. That's why I'm shocked that Ertz is still here.
Yeah. Shit. That was and our kicker got taken.
No, not our kicker.
I think there's a really good kicker. I think there's a really good kicker left.
What if, let me just say it. We still take Diami, right? If we can get both.
Yeah, I think we take both.
There is a good kicker left. You're right. Running back is dusted off.
Silva, do you prefer Nico to Diami? I like both of them as flyers. I think I slightly prefer Diami. I like both though.
Diami's prospect profile is quite a bit better than Nico's, just from the production side of it. Also, he was an early declare.
And I just like my strategy is like 0 Texans, 0 Lions.
That's not a bad strategy. I kind of dabble with the Lions, but I certainly don't mind to have teams without them.
Damn. This was a really good draft.
Even though we didn't get elite kicker upside, Davis, you still like it?
This is about as good as a draft can be when you take 0 Kansas City Chiefs.
It really kills your ability to go on a podcast and say I don't leave a draft without at least.
It really does. Like you're actually burning my brand up in flames right now.
We're on the clock. I like Diami, but I'm good with.
I think Diami. Josh Norris is real concerned Curtis doesn't play week 1, which would be a total smash.
We're definitely gonna need another 8th wide receiver after I cut Rashad Bateman. Whoever.
I like how Davis is also saying that in the first person as if he's gonna have full control over these decisions.
I won't week 1, but by week 6, you guys are gonna be so haggard and beat down. You're gonna be like, looks good, dude.
This is where Davis
if we still have nothing from Bateman in week 6, then you're not going to get an argument from me. That's pretty late.
I prefer Bateman in best ball.
He's actually worse in best ball because you need the points.
You need the points, but you are accepting that you're not going to be doing waivers anyways, and that's reflected in his price. And it's all about the week 17 stuff.
But it's actually not reflected in his price, considering that he's here in the 16th and he goes like in the 14th. I mean, he's going in like the late 13th on underdog. So price wise, the discount's here.
We just can't believe. It's a good question from Dan.
Yeah, our show will be every Wednesday night as usual at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. It will be literally impossible for us to cover every single decision. We're going to focus on our mains that we have with Gretsch, and at times we'll bring some of our co-managers on to discuss. But I think we're going to end up talking more general stuff and in specific decision points. We just won't be able to go through every league, but we will be here every Wednesday before lock.
So can I make a request for the waiver wire show? Just whatever week Rex Burkhead is a waiver wire option, whatever week that may be, bring Hassan on.
Okay.
Hassan and Silva to pump the Rex Burkhead bags.
Yeah.
John says he got Bateman round 16 the puppy today. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's only. Well, I only ever take Bateman now when on Lamar teams.
All right, Davis. So, are you going to push for your kicker or your Eskimo brother? It's a really tough decision point.
I pray to you, Matt Prater.
What is this character?
Yeah, well, what are you doing there, man?
You guys don't know that bit?
No.
Were you not watching football in 2011?
I was watching football in 2011, but
was
Matt Prater.
No,
Matt Prater was Tim Tebow's kicker and made all those insane kicks. He made like a 63-yarder to win them a game, and there was a whole SNL bit about how it was actually Prater who was the guy carrying the team and not Tebow. And I think Jason Sudeikis was Jesus and was talking about how great Matt Prater is, and was like, "I pray to you, Matt Prater."
I missed that.
All right. Well, Bass goes. So we want Prater.
Prater?
I want to take him. I'm okay with Prater. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to argue for Prater. I'd rather take the running back, but I'm not gonna fight it if that's the way Davis wants to go.
I think we need to give Davis a kicker win.
Well, it's not really a kicker win. It's a kicker. And also the other thing is every time Matt Prater makes a kick, we're actually going to be cursing it because it's going to mean that Cliff is doing something cowardly. Like he's going to kick a lot of field goals and every one of them is going to be tilting.
Let's do it. That's all I needed to hear to select Matt Prater.
That is actually, I believe Denny's argument is that Cliff just loves kicking field goals.
It is true.
It's very true. It's a big old.
So we're one more running back in a defense. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hold on. Daigle is giving me shit. That is a well-known bit. That is the I pray to you, Matt Prater bit is like a legit known bit.
I think two things can be true. I am upset at myself for not getting it because that feels like a reference I should know. I also think it could also not be a very popular thing that everyone.
No, dude, that was a whole. I don't know. Maybe it was just my group of friends thought it was funny, but like we still say that shit.
I'm gonna be saying it now, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be saying it every week when Prater's winning us the main event.
Video has 1.6 million views on YouTube. Maybe it's not that well known.
I mean, given that it's from 10 years ago and it was an SNL sketch, that doesn't actually seem like that many.
I actually felt like I should, that I felt bad that I didn't know it, and now no one knows it.
Literally nobody knows it.
Poor Davis. One time he fires off.
I'm tilting. I'm tilting the chat right now.
I know nothing about this, says Chris. Davis was 6 when the video came out.
Josh has my back. He knows it.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny. Oh, Byron Pringle goes. Where are you at on these tertiary options?
I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out on Pringle. It looks like that what the Chiefs are going to opt to do is just use Demarcus Robinson as a traffic cone.
Okay.
Yeah. Early in the preseason, like that first game, Pringle played more snaps with the Mahomes unit, but then they reversed that in the next 2 games, which is a real bummer.
Okay. What about Hardman? Where are you at on Hardman right now?
That I feel pretty good about. I think the thesis behind the Hardman play pretty much remains in place, which is just the Chiefs are going to be one of the most aggressive passing teams. And actually, you could argue that Robinson playing instead of Pringle is fairly bullish for him because Robinson is not going to earn targets, whereas Pringle theoretically could be playing well enough to earn more targets, and just Robinson will not do that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So I don't know. I mean, like everyone knows the deal with Hardman. It's like if he can play the wide receiver position like a C+, he is going to pay these tags off, but we don't have very much evidence of him playing at a C+ level in the NFL.
Davis, do you have any kicker or defensive takes?
The one guy or the one defense I know that has like the 6th schedule to start the year goes super early in these.
Yeah, I was saying more like macro. Do you normally like getting a set it and forget it team, or are you more comfortable streaming defense than
streaming defenses, and you can kind of plan that. Like you can look at schedules and you can kind of plan it like a couple weeks in advance and things like that. Like that feels I don't know, better to me than streaming kickers, I guess.
Yeah. Denny might argue.
Yeah, well, he can if he wants. Yeah, but Phil noted the good defense, which is that the Broncos defense has this just absolutely bonkers schedule to start the year. It's so good. But they went
already won, right?
Yeah, they went round 14, but they play the Cowboys. Yeah. They play the Cowboys to start the year, which feels like terrible. It's like, great, you're going to get no points from your defense the first week of the season.
And you can't even use the information advantage of the Thursday peak because if you're not using them, then you're having to pick up a second defense. And then who wants to carry 2 defenses and then drop that defense because you're not dropping Tampa because you spent a 14th round pick.
Exactly. The information edge is awesome when it's really cheap, but when it's a 14th round pick and it's a defense, I'm not into it.
Well, guys, remember the chat was saying that the message boards are worried about Dak, so maybe it's actually like 9th level sharp, and Dak is going to struggle.
Isn't it funny, too, when you when you watch some of the QAnon stuff and how like a rumor spreads, and like really when you trace it back, and it quite often is just someone typing something in their mom's basement, and that germ of a nugget becomes a full-blown thing. That's what we're talking about here with the Dak guys. There's some guy who I
literally think this is the first time I've seen Jeffrey Wilson Jr. being drafted in a fantasy football league for money.
Yeah,
I had to cut him from some shallow dynasties. It was sad.
What can you do?
Wilson,
can we take
Jeff Wilson's good?
He is. We should take Parham.
Interesting.
Jesus.
I feel like we should take a 5th running back.
Me too. I like the guys in the queue. I like the top 2 guys a lot.
Yeah.
It's like that's like picking between my children. I don't even know which one.
It's tough. You share a lot more with one of them.
One of them.
I hope in this.
One of them I used to play. One of them I used to play pickup basketball with, and the other one I once drafted in the 7th round of a main event. So
I will say I'm way more interested in taking a peek at Hill than like I feel like I'm more confident what I'm going to see from Patterson week 1, where I have no idea what.
Yeah, Patterson is going to get 1 target and 2 carries with like an end around and an exciting kick return. But Justice Hill might get 8 carries in week 1.
Yeah, that's fair. And it just helps us with a Tyson thing. I like doing this where you have
the double tap.
You're going to cut. Yeah.
And
just double tap to.
And if we cut Tyson, that's fine. And if we cut Justice, that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, because Tyson wasn't that. Although we did just talk about how you shouldn't cut a 14th round pick. But we're learning more information.
But it's different. But those are different conversations.
Yeah, Gallman's gone.
Man, the Mike Davis cope on Twitter was like real strong. Like it was real strong.
I need to scroll back and read some of that. Is it just both sides digging in their heels?
Yeah, it's people like me being like, "LOL, you guys drafted this guy in the 5th round, and he just got like Wayne Gallman competition," and other people being like, "Wayne Gallman sucks."
I mean, that's the thing. The fade Mike Davis take was never a Quadre Allison take.
No.
Davis take. It doesn't matter who the body is behind.
So we got to take the Chiefs defense because we got to keep a Chief in every draft.
Is this just so you could have this talking point?
No, the chat wants it.
The chat wants it.
It's the chat. Pete, it's the chat.
Also, by the way, Royce Freeman in Carolina has been brought up like 17 times by people in chat. Like, what are we doing? Like, why is it possible that Royce Freeman being in Carolina is that big of a deal?
Yeah, like the R.I.P. Hubbard thing is a little... No, not R.I.P. Hubbard. The opposite of R.I.P. Hubbard. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to take the Chiefs D, though.
So the Chiefs are home
to the Browns.
Lock
it up.
Yeah, all you want is pass attempts in this anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, the only other, I mean, we've been taking them a lot. I mean, Panthers home versus Jets, home versus Winston, road versus Texans quarterback is also pretty.
We gotta keep the bid up, dude.
All right, I will give you this one. We passed on Butker. I will give you this defense.
It is definitely not optimal, but it is bit optimal.
Not only did you make me do that, but you said, "Oh, one of the Chiefs running backs will be there," and they both got picked.
I mean, who would be so dumb to take 2 backup running backs from the same team in a draft? I mean, just the dumbest donkey move I never could have predicted.
AJ Gargano wants me to make the Parham case, even though we got sniped on him, and it's like a pretty convincing case, right? It's a Jared Cook is 34 years old. They don't really have an entrenched third wide receiver. Like the market is really betting on Josh Palmer, who we have precious little evidence is any good. I know the film guys say he's good, but like I've heard the film guys say lots of guys are good who are not good at all. So I think that there's like a multiverse season that plays out where Donald Parham has like the Robert Tonyan season for the Packers last year, but on the Chargers.
I 100% agree. I think it's a very simple case too. I mean, I feel like he checks all the boxes you would be looking for, right? Like there's not a third tight end that's going to muddy it up. Jared Cook is really old and could just be dust or could get hurt. You have already the team talking about them maybe just having a built-in red zone role for him, even when Jared Cook's on the field.
Because they don't even have that guy really.
Yeah. I think the Parham case is very simple. And
I didn't watch the XFL, but
dude, he was so good,
did, right?
He's a beast.
He was like really, really good in that.
And like
people
massive. He's so big.
He's 6'6", Pat, but he moves. He's not at 6'6" like he's 6'6", but he moves like a power forward.
How was he used? Was he used like a tight end, or was he basically
6'8"?
He was all over. Like it wasn't like he was everywhere. He would be the jet motion guy. Like he was all over the place. I believe he was leading was he leading the XFL in receiving when it finished?
I don't know no, because who was the guy on the rough
the PJ Cam Phillips. Cam something. Yeah.
Pete, we have a question here about Mo Ali Cox.
Yeah.
Where are you at on Mo Ali Cox now?
Well, I just feel like there's just too much now with the Kylan Granson and all this stuff. And I feel like it's just going to be a redux of last year where we got excited about Trey Burton, but then there's 3 tight ends consistently seeing playing time, and you're just really having to bank a touchdown for that to pay off. What do you think?
That's where I'm at too. I think it's going to be gross. And I think they really like Doyle and Mo like Cox as blockers. So I think it's just going to be total luck. Like
if Granson is even playing like 8 snaps a game, that just deads Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's watch a Parham highlight, even though we didn't draft it, but I want to watch. So Davis, did you hear me? He's 6'8". Not
Yeah,
6'6".
yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
he's a beast here.
Like, look at him move.
Breakaway speed at 6'8".
6'8". Look at
wild.
that. Like, look at it, dude. He's like unreal.
Yeah, he's fun.
Wow.
We're
film grinders now, guys.
Like I bet if him and Josh Palmer raced the 100-yard field, I bet he'd beat Josh Palmer.
To be fair, he was being covered by Mike Tolbert there.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't need to analyze the quality of the XFL defense.
It literally looked like Mike Tolbert.
I want to see if I can find the 2020 XFL stats. There's got to be somewhere that has them up, right?
That guy, what was that guy's build? Like, was he a quarterback?
Yeah, he was.
It literally looked like a fullback.
You should have seen some of these guys in the XFL.
When the XFL stopped, he was 3rd amongst receiving yards. And there were guys who played in the NFL, right? There was Nelson Spruce, LaDamian Washington, Cam Phillips was a practice squad guy for the Panthers, but like some Rashad Ross was on the Giants for a while, Eli Rogers, Alonzo Russell, like these guys were hanging around NFL rosters, and Parham as a 6'8" tight end was 3rd in the XFL in receiving yards.
All right, guys, let's circle back and now give a bird's eye view of this team now that the dust has started to settle.
He makes a fucking Mike Tolbert reference, but says that my SNL reference is dated.
I mean, everyone here knows who Mike Tolbert is, Davis.
Davis, weren't you playing fantasy football when Mike Tolbert was around?
I was.
Davis, I think this works in your favor. Like, this obscure random.
Yeah, it's
SNL,
a nice deep cut for you.
that references
Chat
to
just
NFL.
like really had me on tilt. Like I was like really tilting there for a second. Like I was like, you guys are fucking assholes.
Well, they are. But,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
let's recap this team here.
No, I think there's drafts where like everything you want to do, like you set yourself up for moves in drafts. You're like, I'm going to take this guy here, and then you're setting yourself up for a nice value pocket in the next round. And we just had this experience with Sean and Ben where every time it felt like we did that, something different we kept like getting off to false starts with taking wide receivers. We ended up taking 2 running backs in the first 4 rounds. We took a quarterback within the 6th round, so 3 wide receivers through 6. We always felt like we were kind of just like on our back foot that whole draft. And then this is the exact opposite, where I feel like every move we made, the draft like corresponded and like just like kind of helped us out and pushed what we needed to be there to us. So, I mean, even the Chase Edmonds thing, like, first of all, very optimal to have an argument about Chase Edmonds while there's multiple people watching the stream in the mid rounds, which is where you're actually worried about getting sniped. So that was a perfect time for us to argue through rounds like 8, 9, 10.
Yeah,
and
Florida Strong was listening. Florida Strong was listening to that. Like, I cannot wait to snap up whoever they don't take.
And then we get the 3 wide receivers after that. The Chase Edmonds pick looks pretty fucking awesome now. So all in all, the draft, I just really came together nicely. I love it.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. Davis, any other thoughts here other than losing out on Butker and one of your Chiefs?
I mean, I think Damian as a 3rd running back is like what we got. Damian 36-ish picks after James White, when Damian Williams like is James White, but with contingent upside instead of just like standalone. And like the biggest gift in FFPC right now is that you can do something like go off structure and take Chase Edmonds in the 7th and still be rewarded with Will Fuller in the 9th round. Like the fact that you can get Will Fuller there very consistently allows you to take those detours, right? Pat, your Avalanche analogy, like we skied out from the Avalanche and, a St. Bernard with a big whiskey around its neck in the form of Will Fuller came up and saved us from the Avalanche.
Dude, we had a picnic lunch on the mountain. We looked with binoculars, I think there's an avalanche up there. We should probably wrap up in about an hour. It was pretty nice. I did not feel the avalanche anywhere near us in this one.
Matt
asked this question. I was like, considering that we had one of the biggest arguments we've ever had about Chase Edmonds not being a good pick for us as our second running back, I think it tells you everything you need to know about how comfortable we are with Damian Williams as our.
We're delighted.
We would have felt comfortable with Damian as the RB2.
I was trying to get him as the RB2.
Exactly.
Maybe that's how he meant it. I'm actually a little bit upset because he's not our RB2.
Well, there is a very simple multiverse version of this lineup where Kyle Pitts goes. We take probably Lockett in there.
Yeah,
and then
that's so annoying.
Then we take Fant instead of Edmonds because we got to get our first tight end there. And then we probably then just have to take running backs with the Bateman and Diami picks.
Yeah,
and then we just have the Taylor anchor. So that's the really 3v3 or whatever on how big that pit slide was for us.
The pit slide was real nice.
This is like getting Kyle Pitts there. I fully sold myself on Kyle Pitts. I'm ready to start taking him in the 4th on Underdog, I think.
But hang on, just to be clear, what sold you on Pitts was someone touting Russell Gage?
Yes, because that take is so laughably bad. And what that laughably bad take illustrates is that the volume is just there for Pitts. It is just straight up there. He can just get 130 targets.
Only Davis would generate a draft thesis that's actually just a spite take.
It's a spite take. We've been talking about Kyle Pitts all offseason. I don't know. Can he do it? He's a rookie. And then Davis is just you know what? Fuck Russell Gage.
All in on Kyle Pitts.
How good is it going to be when Russell Gage plays 41% of this Falcon snaps in week 1 because they just play Hayden Hurst in line and they play Kyle Pitts in the slot and that's just what it is. And Olamide Zaccheaus is the other outside guy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
All right. Well, this was a ton of fun. Definitely, I completely agree with Pat.
Herb Smith just selected, by the way. Jesus.
Well, auto draft. This is what happens when you leave your draft early. But considering it's his 4th tight end, I think he'll survive.
That guy is ready to grind the waiver wire. That guy, he does not care about having to stream kickers.
Yes. So here's the deal. Taking Pat, actually, I'm not committing to it because I need a little bit of a break, but we're gonna do a quad with RotoViz Bros on Sunday. Not streamed. Or it is streamed, but on the RotoViz channel, correct? That's what
it's on the RotoViz channel. Yeah. On Sunday night, Hassan and Blair are bringing us on, and we're going to be drafting a team on the RotoViz channel. And it's I believe a Football Guys Players Championship. Is that the format?
Yep. Yeah. And check that out. And then on Tuesday night, we're going to draft an NFC team, mixing up our platforms here. Excited to do that with Gretch and Leone. And then Pat and I head to Vegas on Wednesday night, and we will be there all day Thursday, all day Friday, drafting, hanging out, partying, all that good stuff. And then literally after that, after Tuesday, next time we will see you guys will be for the week 2 waiver wire show, which just feels crazy to say. It
does. I've been working on a spreadsheet to get our waivers in order. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more organized this year than we were last year, which was, I believe,
the week one waiver wire show from last year is my favorite ship case.
It's a real listener favorite. Yeah, everyone who ever watched it who wasn't us enjoyed it a lot.
Hated it. Davis, what do you got going on here to wind down your draft season?
Well, everyone should go listen to the NFT show with Carlini. First of all, honestly, very good. I barely talk at all, so if you don't like me and you just like the good guests I get, that it would be a good show to listen to. I have another main event tomorrow night the 10 o'clock Eastern time one. I hope it goes very similar to this, though I would love to get a 1-on-1. It's just miserable watching Christian McCaffrey get 35 fantasy points a game and just knowing you have no exposure to him in any of the high stakes leagues. And then the Sports Grid Fantasy Football Podcast will be daily starting next Tuesday.
Awesome. And another ship chasing housekeeping thing, Pat, we mentioned it in the Discord a little bit ago, and then Pat announced it on Twitter today. We are going to have stat chasing back. That was a very popular series. Pat, however, is not going to be doing it. He's passed the baton to Sam Hoppen, who is a very worthy replacement here to tackle this. He already has the charts and just a really, really sharp fantasy player that we're really excited to have him on board doing that. So we'll have more details on the exact kind of format and release schedule for that coming up.
It'll be dropping Tuesdays. It'll definitely be Tuesdays.
I think the thing we're figuring out is if there might be like a live element, maybe for YouTube members or something like that.
We're still, that might be the case.
Might be the case. So you can look forward to that. Also, thank you to Eric Belair, who's been killing it with our social media stuff. We really appreciate everyone helping us out as Ship Chasing continues to grow. And again, thank you guys for all the super chats tonight. Very nice. And thank you for helping us realize how close that 2v2 actually was. All right, guys. For Davis, for Pat, I'm Pete. Continue to chase those ships.